Good evening, everyone. We're facing quite the tragedy, are we not? With the Titan being lost at sea. And this is where it's made. I'm so ashamed, and yet I'm not surprised that this leaky vessel is from Washington. It's from not that far away. It's in Everett. And it looks like it was built from pieces of tent city. It's just, it blew my mind when I saw that. Was it yesterday or a couple of days ago that Camping World is where they were getting their stuff from. Right there in Everett, Camping World. It's just so mind-boggling. And they had, there's the controller, the Logitech controller, $43.99. I think he said that the CEO, I wish I could remember his name. I'm just kind of so freaked out by him. It's like I'm blocking his name out or something. So yeah, here we are at the base camp, and when I first saw this, I thought it should be the word crude, C-R-U-D-E, because they're primitively made these weird things. You know, here it says our subs. It almost sounds like it's a restaurant, you know, like a menu. Like it's not really all that serious. I saw they have a little shop, gallery and shop, and it says it can't find the website, so sadly that's basically can't find the submersible, can't find the website, and here we go into our own deep dive into what this whole thing is about. Our CEO, I've been going through and finding quotes of him, and one thing he said was he didn't want any old submarine people around. He just wanted like really young people and really new people to be part of all of this. Like, it looks like they spent more money on their logo than they did on the sub, and that really shocked me. I really was thinking, okay, you know, this thing went under, but I assumed it was military grade or NASA grade, and you know, had the titanium complete structure, and I don't know. I'm sure that like everyone knows by now, but I just couldn't believe it when I saw that a Game Boy controller was being used in this, and that it was a 3D printout for part of this hull that was kind of like glued to another part of it, and it all came from salvage yards. And you know, I really wonder, sorry, that wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. What the philosophy was behind this. Anything can go wrong, but you always have more safeguards the more things can go wrong in life, and they had no safeguards. People think they're just like banging, like for your rescue thing to be like maybe banging against a boat, and I'm not sure if those bangs are them or not. But that just doesn't seem really well planned. And none of it is. I mean, it's almost like if you were just doing the dumbest things possible to make yourself have a horrible accident, right? It's like watching Congress, you know? And and it's interesting that his philosophy is extremely Marxist. What I feel that I've learned over the years, not that I wanted to, not that any of us wanted to, I think we're all becoming like experts in wokeism, is that there's something in Marxism that feels, and I mean like the progressives, that they're above nature. You know, were you born a guy, just go get your, you know, parts chopped off and you can be a girl, right? I remember reading Trotsky a long time ago. You know, people were all talking about Trotsky and I thought I better catch up. And when I read Trotsky, all he wanted to talk about was, it was bizarre. He just wanted to talk about how, oh wow, we can go down and look at it. He just wanted to talk about how to move mountains and change the directions of rivers and things like that. He thought the U-rails were in the wrong place. He thought rivers were going in the wrong directions. It was just really strange. It was this kind of, I'm going to refashion nature. Nature is somehow below us. And I just think he didn't take it seriously. He didn't take the bottom of the ocean seriously and somehow lucked out and got lucky enough to, I don't know, I think this thing went down a time or two, and I saw some guy that was like talking about going down in something that was not this one. It was a reporter who'd been on the very first one that went down years ago, and it had gotten trapped. It had gotten stuck. It had gotten completely stuck on these giant propellers that were on the Titanic, and the guy started crying. He was like, oh my God, you know, he was on Piers Morgan, and you know, I would be crying too. I would not want to be stuck down there. Today I had an MRI, and the MRI was plenty for me. I just, you know, I just feel horrible for people who put their trust, you know, in something that was just so unbelievably shoddy. You know, like that, it's just something that none of us, I don't think, would ever, you know, I'm hearing military people saying every single piece of everything on our subs and submersibles and everything, you know it from start to finish. You know where it was manufactured. You have every single part of it completely known, you know, and how on earth could they just be using cheap things that get like a bad review on Amazon as their like controller, right? When these are, these are such serious expeditions, and like I said, the man was talking about, we know cradle to grave, where everything came from that's used to put these things together. And here's this guy, he's like, I went down to the salvage yard. It just sounds like it's like he threw it together, he may as well have just gotten, a few tents from Tent Town and, found some old strollers and, maybe, I don't know, right? Just stick an old bus down there, seal up the windows. It's just such a kind of cavalier attitude towards the most frightening parts of nature, the very depths of the ocean. It seems like space would be, here's, so these things, they're just like, part of it's 3D printed, part of it was found in a salvage yard, right? Camping World, here's the aisle he went down, probably to find like cheap stuff. And if you're finding such cheap stuff, why are you charging people like a fortune, right? You've got these kind of little made in rinky-dink places kind of stuff. And wow, I mean, I'm not showing him because I don't know like what the copyright stuff is now with YouTube, if they'll take it down, but that was the one he was holding in his hands, and he's just like, yeah, this thing's, run like this. And, again, I remember seeing someone once who said, progressives play at being things. They play at being a politician, right? They play at being an academic, but they really aren't, right? And so here we've got, this is Marxism, this is progressive Marxism in the realm of science, right? In the realm of expeditions. And here they're advertising for it, I don't know. They'll probably do an expedition next to look at the poor thing that sank now. They'll have a Titan. They'll have a Titan expedition there. A Titan one, not just Titanic. That's just how kind of creepy it is. And, yep. Seriously, it looks like they put more time into the website than into the actual craft, and I'm just so sorry that people trusted in them. I think everyone is extremely upset about the 19-year-old because he's so young. And again, we've got these wild expeditions being put out by progressives who don't want anything to do with anyone who knows anything. Wouldn't want that, would you? Look how far down that is. Look how far. Like I said, I had an MRI today, and that was plenty. That was plenty. But I think we need to think about that. Do we really want the Marxist progressive way? We've seen what it's done to Olympia, that we are tent city. Now they've got the equivalent of tent city that people are spending, what was it, $250,000 a ticket to go on. That's pure Marxism right there. Pay through the nose and get nothing, and yeah, pay through the nose and get nothing. Like all the money went into the advertising, right? It's all show. It's all show and no substance. Many blessings, everyone. Breathe deep and pray. You know, I will continue to pray for these poor souls. Many, many blessings.